Hello friends, so welcome to the channel and today's video is about metabolism of carbohydrates. So in this video we will see towards that what is carbohydrate, how do we define it, how it takes place in the body and what are some terminologies associated with it. So first of all, what is carbohydrate? So when we have to define this terminology, what we see that carbohydrate is one of the you could be saying major source of energy for all the living cells. So this carbohydrate metabolism is a fundamental biochemical process and it ensures a constant supply of energy to living cells. When we talk about carbohydrate metabolism, so in this case, the most important carbohydrate which we are going to consider is glucose, a monosaccharide. Now, this glucose is broken down to produce energy through a process called glycolysis. And this process of breaking of glucose is a two-step process. In the first step is goes through a glycolysis pathway, then it enters the Krebs cycle, and followed by that there is oxidative phosphorylation also to generate ATP. So some of the process occur simultaneously and these two are one stepwise. First glycolysis followed by Krebs cycle. Now, why we call that this only glucose is the most important when we talk about carbohydrate metabolism, what we mean to say that it is the central molecule in this metabolism process, because if we will look for all the major pathways of carbohydrate metabolism, not only the glycolysis or Krebs cycle which I am talking here about, the other one also that we will be seeing further. So those all are connected with glucose. So that's why glucose is the central molecule in carbohydrate metabolism, and in this way it has given an important you could be say consideration. Now next comes how are these carbohydrates are metabolized in the body. So what is the process of that? So when we consume carbohydrate through obviously through the dietary sources, so what happens, it breaks down in the intestine first. The first step is breakdown in the intestine. Here they are then converted into smaller simple sugars which are easy to absorb. So those will get absorbed in the blood. And in this process, glucose is the main agent which is produced. Now this glucose gets it could enter inside the cells. It is easy to be taken up by the cells, or on the other hand, it may get immediately broken down to produce energy, or it gets converted into glycogen, which is one of the storage form of glucose. So this glucose is having three different fates. Yes. So first one, it is taken up by cells, or it gets directly broken up and energy will be produced. And if it is in excess, what will happen, it will be converted into the storage form of glucose. And we know what is glycogen, it is a polysaccharide, it is a polymeric carbohydrate. So it is a large molecule, so it is used as a storage form of glucose by the body. So glucose gets converted into energy, or it gets converted into glycogen. So this is how the carbohydrate metabolism takes place in body. Now when we look towards these various pathways related to glucose metabolism, first of all, we could divide those pathways in two types. The first one is oxidative pathway, and the second one is your synthetic pathway. So in this way we have divided the glucose metabolism pathway into two types: oxidative pathway, and the second one is synthetic pathway. Now let's see what are these two pathways, or these two different types of pathway. So in the oxidative pathways, glucose is undergoes glycolysis. Okay, so what this glycolysis is, so during this process glucose get converted into pyruvate or lactate through a series of reactions, so that is called as glycolysis. While in case of citric acid cycle, so this one is a cyclic process where the end products of glycolysis further enter through citric acid cycle, and there they are converted into CO2 and H2O through these cyclic process steps, and simultaneously energy is produced in both glycolysis and citric acid cycle. So this is one of the oxidative pathway. So this is lysis and citric acid cycle. So here also breakdown takes place. Now comes the second oxidative pathway, that is hexose monophosphate shunt. So what is this hexose monophosphate shunt, or it is also called as HMP shunt or pentose phosphate pathway? So this shunt means an alteration, alternative arrangement. So what happens in case of HMP shunt, we will be saying now onwards, so that it will be easy for you to remember hexose monophosphate shunt or HMP shunt. So in this process, the instead of the this glucose molecule, it doesn't enter glycolysis. Instead of that, it goes through this alternative pathway, and it is converted into other you could be saying substrates, which have important place in various other pathways, which are important biomolecules in which are used in the metabolism of various biomolecules, or in the formation of various biomolecules. So this is hexose monophosphate shunt. So this is an alternative arrangement, that glucose, instead of going to the routine process of glycolysis or citric acid cycle, it goes in this alternative pathway, and that leads to formation of carbon dioxide and water. So that is hexose monophosphate shunt. Then comes the third one, oxidative pathway example, that is uronic acid pathway. So what happens in uronic acid pathway? Again here glucose is the central molecule. So glucose is converted into glucuronic acid and pentoses, and in some animals to ascorbic acid, and this is also an alternative oxidative pathway for glucose. So that is uronic acid, where glucose is converted to glucuronic acid or pentose sugars. Okay, so these two are the alternative one. Here hexose monophosphate shunt is an also alternative one, and glycolysis and citric acid, these are the normal pathways. So these all three are oxidative pathways, where glucose is break down to produce some other substrates, either energy or other biomolecules, or some energy outcomes. So those are produced in oxidative pathways. Now the on the right hand side, you could say the other pathways, the second category is of synthetic pathways. Means here you could be saying that synthesis of some new molecules is going to take place. So what are the uses of you could be saying carbohydrate or glucose in the synthesis of other biomolecules? So for example, as we have seen, when there is excess of glucose in the body start storing it, so in the form of glycogen. So there is generation of glycogen, there is synthesis of glycogen. So that's why this pathway is known as glycogenesis. You could see here uh, the other pathway is synthesis of glycogen. That's why it is named as glycogenesis. Then there is the next, you could be saying opposite of glycogenesis, where glycogen gets breakdown. That is called as glycogenolysis. Means glycogen is now breakdown. So that is called as glycogenolysis. Then there are some there are other synthetic pathways where uh, there is synthesis of glucose. Okay, but this synthesis of glucose is not from carbohydrate source. Like we have seen, the polysaccharides, they break into, and that lead to formation of glucose. But there are sub pathways where the glucose is produced, but not from the carbohydrate sources. It is produced from the non-carbohydrate sources. So those pathways are called as gluconeogenesis, where there is generation of glucose, but from the non-carbohydrate sources. So that is called as gluconeogenesis. Now, in addition to that, glucose also has an important role in the formation of various fat molecules like lipopolysaccharides, you know. So those are lipogenesis. Then it is also used in synthesis of some non-essential amino acids. So they do have a role in the synthesis of you could be saying proteins as well as amino acids. So this is how the glucose metabolism or carbohydrate metabolism can be distinguished. Those different steps can be distinguished, and there are different definitions we have covered. So thank you for joining the lecture, and all these pathways we will see one by one in the upcoming videos. Thank you.